Hey guys, wanted to chat a little bit about my history with speed skating, but more importantly, my history of back pain with speed skating and why I ended up leaving the sport. Not many people know this. Well, not a lot of people I've met recently know this because I don't talk about it a lot. But I used to be a semi-professional speed skater. I grew up in Michigan and I traveled to Milwaukee quite a bit, trained at the Pettit, traveled to Marquette, trained at the United States Olympic Education Center, and still have about, I think, 10 state records in Michigan from some of the skating that I did back in the day. So was decently good, but no longer do really train or compete for speed skating. And I was ultimately forced out of the sport due to accumulating injuries, one of which was centrally located around back pain. So once you get back pain, it's usually easier to get it again, and that was the case with me. So as soon as, and I was diagnosed with a variety of things, and it was a good about 4 years that I battled with it. It was herniated disc, bulging disc, sciatica, pseudosciatica, piriformis tightness. If you can name it, I had it, and it would get better, but then it would come back. And ultimately, I was just tired of fighting it, and I was tired of dealing with it because no matter what I did, it kept coming back. And the one thing that I was never told during all of that was that I should actually strengthen my low back muscles. Never told that. I intuitively knew that they were weak because I couldn't hold base position, which if you're not familiar with speed skating, base position is that tiny, tiny position you're kind of crammed into where you're like curled up into a ball almost, and your knees are bent at about 90, your back is curved over, and that's the position you skate in. It's called base position. And so after about a minute of being in that position towards the end of my skating journey, my back would, I don't know any other better words to describe it than it would like give out. And I just couldn't hold the position. My back would just collapse. I would be in the position, but I would just be in a severe amount of pain. And sometimes it got better, sometimes it didn't. And ultimately why I stopped was I was just tired of fighting it. It wasn't speed skating was no longer fun because every time I did it, I had pain. So as I got into being a physical therapist and learned more and more about what you're supposed to strengthen, how you're supposed to strengthen it, and what's important, what I really learned was if I would have strengthened my back muscles then, I would have saved myself a world of hurt and probably never walked away from the sport completely like I did. And even still after the sport, before I started strengthening my back, I would still get reoccurring back pain, despite the fact that I regularly worked out, I lifted weights, I ran, I biked, but I still would get reoccurring back pain. And ever since I started strengthening my back, when I was done speed skating, I haven't had issues. Knock on wood. But it's been so much better, and it's been so much better ever since I started doing the strengthening stuff. Occasionally it does bother still, but every time it does, I know why it does. Like last time it bothered, I was in Europe and we walked about 10 miles a day and I was constantly standing and never gave it a break. So it bothered a little bit, but then as soon as I sat down, it was gone. Same thing like if I sit in a car for 8 hours, I'll get some irritation, which is completely expected with my history of recurring back pain for about 4 years. So it's going to be a little bit more irritatable. I don't know if that's a word or not. We're just going to assume it is. Than it would be otherwise, but every time it goes away. And if I would have known what I knew now back when I was speed skating, I don't think I would have walked away from the sport like I did. So if you are struggling with recurring back pain or back pain that doesn't seem to go away no matter what you do, give me a shout out. I'd love to show you, or shoot me a message. I'd love to show you some ways that you can help that go away or help manage that better so that you're not constantly dealing with your back bothering you. So yeah, have a good day, everyone.